Hey, it's Carl, the computer guy again, with your computer tips, tricks, and information to keep your home business and other technology up to date and in working order. Today, we're going to talk about how do you get started with a website. So, first thing you got to do is decide you need a website, and then once you do, you're going to need a domain. A domain is what you're going to call your website. So, most people have a business name or something along those lines that they can start with. So you just want to find somewhere to get a domain so that you can start doing some hosting. Now, easiest way, just go to i70websolutions.com, scroll down a little bit, and you can check out .coms, .nets, .orgs, or other ones. And along with your domain name, you can get hosting. If you just want a domain name, you can click on the version that you want and don't have to worry about hosting. But most people are going to want hosting because once you got your name, you're going to have somewhere to host your website, which is a site that you can put stuff on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with registering a domain. And the first thing you want to do is put in the name of your business. So if you've got a business called, I don't know, Pet Shop for Kids, we can try that and see what that comes up with. All right, so Pet Shop for Kids is available. Everybody, you can get your .com, .net, .org. You just add them to your cart. If they weren't available, you would put in something like Carl the Computer Guy. You don't have to put the .com. You just put Carl the Computer Guy. You're going to search, and you're going to see that they're all unavailable, which means okay, that name is taken. So now you got to figure out another name, or you can do something at the end of it, and then usually that will become available. But be careful with that because if you try to do Carl the Computer Guy 123, then people looking for Carl the Computer Guy me are most likely not going to remember the 123 or whichever site you're looking at. So you want to try to come up with a unique name. So let's go back to Pet Shop for Kids. All right, once you find your domain, you're going to add it to your cart. And some people like to have the .com, the .net, the .org. You don't have to. I suggest trying to go for the .com. There's plenty of other extensions that people use these days, but a lot of people remember the .com most common. If you're like a organization or a non-profit organization, something like that, you can go with the .org. A lot of people are used to that, so you can definitely grab that one. And then the .net in the middle is just another dot that people remember. But definitely try to grab the .com if you can, because if .com wasn't available and then you do petshopforkids.net, well, you do Pet Shop for Kids, and most people remember, oh, Pet Shop for Kids, I'm going to go with .com and start there, and they're not going to be on your site. So you have to do a lot more advertising to get them to the .net versus the .com. Keep that in mind. Once you pick your domain, you're going to click the checkout button. And here, you're going to pick anything that you want to add on. So that you don't get a bunch of blast emails or a bunch of just crap from everybody that finds your website, I would do the ID protection. It's $5 a year, and it protects. It keeps your personal information off of the registry. So when someone goes to look up your website and they don't see your home address or your business address, they see um, actually my information. So that'll protect you from getting all the spam and everything. And this is not people coming to your website to find you. This is the trolls out there that are trying to find who owns the website so they can try to move you to their hosting or get you a deal to do this or that. So this is more on the advertising side of people trying to get to talk to your business about your hosting and things like that, not customers coming to see you. And DNS management. So if you have more than one, if you picked like .com, .net, .org, whatever you want to do, the DNS management. So that way you can point .net and .org. So when people go to the .net, they come back to your .com. It helps people. So if you do own all three domains, no matter which one they type in, they still come to whichever website you want. Or if you want them to go to the .org, you can point the .com to the .org. So that's that. It's $3 a year. And then email forwarding is if you want to take any of the emails that you create under this domain and forward them to Gmail or anything like that. You can have that. A lot of people don't use that, but it is an option. Once you pick all this information, you're going to click continue. And you're going to see that with the ID protection, it's $25 a year. And that's just the domain. Now, if you want to have hosting with that, which means that somebody's going to, you're going to host your website on a server somewhere, you're going to need to have hosting on top of that. And that you can go over here to shared hosting and pick your plan. And these are all the information that you need for picking the right plan. You're probably going to want to go with the basic host if you're just starting, because nobody knows about your website. Nobody's grabbing it unless you have more than 25 email addresses. I wouldn't worry about it. It's going to be a really good spot to start. It's $7 a month and keeps you going. If you do have a website already in place and you're just moving it to another host, then you can always bump up to whatever your quota needs to be, how much disk space for your website, pictures, all that, and how much bandwidth that you think is coming through. So we'll just start with the basic host, and we're going to add it to the domain that we chose. And then if you choose the 1 month, it's $7. If you choose 12 months, it's $6.45 a month. And if you go with a 2-year plan, it's $6 a month, and you get your domain for free. So usually most people do the 2 years because that way they don't have to worry about it, but you can only do monthly. It's up to you. And we'll hit continue. And we've already chosen all this stuff. All right. So now we're back to here. So your domain registry now drops down to just the $5 for the ID protection, because you get the 1 year of Pet Shop for Kids for free. It renews for $25 in 1 year, but your first year for the domain is free. And then your basic host for 1 year will be for 2 years will be $142.80. And then your subtotal, actually your whole total will be $147.78. And that will get you started with your website. Now keep in mind that this is just the hosting and the domain, and this will get you started on what you want to do. In the previous screen, here we go. If we scroll down to the bottom here, if you do want help building a site, I can definitely help you build a site. You can grab a site builder here. We create the whole site for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. It is a one-time $750 charge. Get you going, get you a website up and looking beautiful, and then you take it from there. And then we've also got the maintenance plan, which gives you maintenance, make sure you're up to date, everything is good. And that is, if you do the 2-year plan, it actually drops down to $5 a month. So just FYI, if you don't know what you're doing building a site, I'm going to do some videos on how to build sites. So totally up to you, but I do have a done for you plan. Once you're done here, hit the checkout button. And this is where you start putting in all your information and scrolling down, putting your card information, and complete your order. After that, you'll get an email with the information on how to log in and do your start working on your website. Make sure you create a good password for yourself here for this account security, and that's going to get you rolling. So if you have any other questions or concerns, please reach out, but you can definitely start moving forward with building your website, getting a domain, and we will see you on the next one.